Okay, guys, so welcome to Before Spend. So, the reason why I created Before Spend is because, I have a personal problem in terms of I was not able to differentiate between business money and personal, money. So, I normally keep them in a single account and it makes me, I deep hand into the business part of the money and then spend it. So, I was looking for a tool that will help me. As soon as I get money, I would allocate the money like into different segments and accounts so that I know at the end of the day, this is how much I have to spend on my personal expenses. This is how much I have to spend on my business expenses. So that I'll be able to, manage my money very well. That is why I created Before Spend. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Before Spend to manage your finances, to manage your money. Now, once you come to Before Spend, what you just need to do is to click on this create your free account. You'll be taken to this page here. Now, there are two ways to sign up on Before Spend. You can fill this form here. Just enter the form here, set your currency. So if you're in Nigeria, you select Naira. Now, once you do that, let me just close this. You can also scroll down here. If you don't want to use the form there, you can just click on join with Google. So if I click on this option here, now it will take you to your, Google sign in page. You just have to just select your Gmail. Then on your device, if it shows you this, you can just press the number. This is just to authenticate you. Now, if you see this, you just have to just click on continue. So once you complete your sign up, you're going to see this pop up here, welcoming you. So all you just need to do here is to add your phone number. Then you select your workspace. So are you a freelancer, business owner? So you just select something that represents you. So I'll just select this one in my case here. Then I'll just click on save preference. So once you're done with that, now you're inside your before spend dashboard. Now, in order to start managing your money, the first thing which I recommend for you to do is to set your rules. How do you want to allocate your money as soon as you get money? Now, there are already a default rule here. You can see the different buckets here, owner salary growth fund. You can see the percentages here. Once I have money, this is how it's going to split it. You can see operating expenses, 15%, tax reserve, because you have to pay for tax, to the government. So you have to bring out a bucket to put your tax money so that you don't end up spending it. And if you spend it, you're going to go to jail. So you do this, you emergency fund and then profit you give yourself. So this is a default template that is here. Now, if you don't like this setting in terms of, for everybody, your life is unique, you have how you want to allocate your money. Now, what do you do? The first thing I recommend for you to do is to go to this more page. Just click on more here, then click on settings, then scroll up. Once you scroll up, you're going to come to this page which says budget bucket setup. Now, what I recommend you to do is you can see the different buckets here, the default ones here. Now, if you prefer the default one, which I prefer, if you like it, all you just have to do is to click on configure. So when you click on configure here now, maybe in your own personal, scenario, maybe you want to pay yourself 40% of every income you get. Or maybe you want to pay yourself 30% or 15%. So let's say, for example, in my own case now, I just want to pay myself 20%. Now, once you do this, next thing is you need to type your destination bank account. In your case, it might be Zenny Bank, it might be Kuda, it might be Access Bank, GTB, Chase Bank, and so on and so forth. So you just type the name of the bank. You can delete this thing and just type Zenith Bank. Now you can choose a color like a color label if you want. You can leave it as it is. If you also want to change the bucket, maybe you can type my salary or something like that so that you'll be able to know what this specific bucket does for you. Now, if you want to also set the description, you can type the description here. Just click here and edit this. Also, if you want to set it in such a way whereby, let's say, for example, let's say you're keeping your salary on in your Zenny bank account, and in your Zenny bank account, you don't want to spend less than 50,000 naira of your account balance. You don't want to go below 50,000 of your account balance. You can do something like you can just set the budget limit so that the system now will alert you anytime you're going below that amount. It will tell you so that you know how to cut your spending and rearrange your expenses. Or you can say 10,000. You can just put any amount you want. Let's say 10,000 naira. And then once you're done with this, you just click on save. Now, once you do this, you can see here, because we edited it from 35% to 20%, you can see here the total allocation split here is 85, 100%, and it must be 100%. That's what you're seeing right here. So in this case, let me say my own personal, I'm using my own personal scenario here. Yours will be different. So in my own personal scenario now, my growth fund is just like the money I want to keep for, you know, marketing my business, the money I want to keep for buying, let's say, a new laptop, something that will bring more money to my business. That is what I categorize as growth fund. Now, I'll click on this place. Now, in my growth fund, I want to make it higher. I want to make it 35%. Now, I can also change the destination bank account. The destination bank account is where you're actually storing the money, because right now you're not storing money on before spend. You're just using before spend as a tool to split your money before you get the money. Let's say, for example, you're a freelancer and you're expecting, let's say, 100K, and now a client pays you 100K. Instead of for you to just leave it in your personal account and go ahead and start spending that money, you first split the money into different buckets so that at the end of the day, you know, oh, in my Zenny bank account, which is my personal bank account, at the end of the day, out of that 100K, let's say it's only 20K or 30K that I can spend out of that 100K for my personal expenses. Then the remaining money now is for business, tax, operating expenses, and so on and so forth. So that is the main goal of why I created Before Spend. Now, I can also change this bank account. So bank account is the actual bank account that this particular money growth fund is. So I can change it if I want. If I can also add a budget this thing here. Then I click on save. So as soon as I click on save, now you can see now it is 100%. Now that's why you're seeing green here. This place is also important, this notification bar, because I recommend to you as you go to Before Spend, if you go to the website there, you're going to see a banner up there which says Use App. Just click on the Use App. You're going to see a pop up that is going to show up telling you how to save the Before Spend in your phone. So if you're using iOS, you just click on the share button on your iOS, browser, your Safari browser. Click on the share button, then scroll down and look for Add to Home Page. Now, once you click on it, you're going to see Done or something like that, the next prompt. So just click on Done. Then Before Spend app is going to save on your device. As you're scrolling your apps, you see the different apps on your phone. You're going to see Before Spend there. That is the best method I recommend you to use, so you don't have to come to the site every time. Or you just have to just scroll your phone like you scroll a normal app and click on it. It will open it immediately. You log into your account, or your account will be logged in immediately, and then you keep managing your finances that way. If you're doing it from iOS, if you just come to the website and you click on this and you see this, if you click on this enable, it's not going to enable it. The only way it's going to enable is when you save it in your home page, and then you click on enable. That is where you're going to start getting push notifications in terms of, let's say, you've not logged into the app for that day, to log your expenses for that day. The app is going to remind you, or you can also check your email, or if you have let's say, a reminder in terms of subscriptions that you need to cancel or stuff like that, Before Spend is going to remind you all those things. That is why enabling push notification is very important if you want to get the best out of this app. Now, this is about the reminder here. So once you're done setting your rules now, the next step which I recommend now is to come to this place. When you come to home, now you're going to see low balance. You set your limits. You don't want to go below. That's why you're seeing low balance here, because actually our balance right now is zero. Now, let's say, for example, as you're working as a freelancer, as a business owner or salary earner, and then your salary or your payment enters. What you need to do next after setting your rules is to come to split here. Just click on split here. Now you type the amount of money that you actually got from your client. Let's say, for example, you got 100K. Now you can type the description. Let's say website design upfront. Now, once you do this, next thing now is you can upload the receipt of that payment. So what you can then do is to click on browse. If you're doing it from your phone, you're going to see the different option. You can select from your photos so you to upload it. So I'll just click on browse here. As you can see here, I have attached one of the receipts, payment receipt I got from my client. Now, the next thing which you need to do is to click on Save to Bucket. Now, once you click on that, let me show you something I didn't show you before I clicked on that. When you click on this and you finish, writing your description and you upload your stuff, if you look at this real-time distribution now, it's going to distribute your money based on the rule which you just set into your different buckets. That is why I say you need to set your rules first before you start using the application so that you can distribute your money the way you want it to be. Now you can see here everything has been, this is this thing here. So then you come to home here. Now you can see the money in your different buckets here. You can see how we split the money. So this is just what you need to do every time you get income. Okay, so the next step now is, let's say for example, let's say you're a freelancer and you do earn in foreign currency, USD, pound, and so on and so forth. Now you want to log that income, so you click on USD here, and then how many let's say how much did you get? Is it 100K? So you can just type, let's say, $100. So once you type $100, the system is automatically going to do the conversion for you in terms of the exchange rate for the current day. So you're going to see here, you remember you put your stuff here, and then once you do that, you click on save. If you click on USD here, so what's going to happen? The system will convert it just like I said, this amount here. That is going to split it into your different buckets. So let me just click on save to bucket. If you come back home here, you're going to see your balance will be updated. Before I go, if you want for privacy, if you want, you don't want people to be seeing your balance here, you can just click on this here. It's going to blur it out. So just in case you're outside, so you can click on that. Now, as you start using, now, like let's say for example, you finish distributing your money and then you want to start spending the money. Now, let's say in your the money, all this money now, let's say this money entered into your business account first, and then you do your distribution here so that you see how much is going to your personal, how much is going to your expense, operating expense account. Then from your business account, you run all these transfers to the amount to the different accounts. Like for example, if it's in your business account, you got it, let's say Fidelity current account. Now you can from there now do this from the balance of this. Now you can now do the transfers to your Fidelity savings for this growth fund, and then Zenith Bank for your personal money, this amount. Now, let's say, for example, you've done all those transfers in your physical bank account. Now, the next step now is to come here, expense. So this is where you're going to be working with every single day. Let's say, for example, you go outside, you buy food, and that food is an expense. So you can just come here and just type your expense here, food. And then you log it. How much food did you buy for that day? Let's say 10,000 naira. So food is a personal expense. So you need to select the bucket which you're spending from. So since food is a personal expense, it's from your owner's salary, so you select it. If you want to attach the receipt, maybe if you went to a restaurant, they give you receipt. So if you want to, you can also do that. Then you log your expense here. So once you log, you can see this prompt here. It will minus it now, that 10,000, it will minus it from your owner's salary. That is what you see here. So if you scroll down now, because this thing is very important, so that you'll be able to see, oh, how much have you spent from your money? So it's to show you a chart, a distribution chart of like the breakdown of how much you spent. So yeah, you scroll down, you can also see, you can also filter by months, days, and the rest. Now the next step, now let's say for example you bought fuel. So fuel is a business experience, operating expense. You spent 15,000 naira. Now you select the bucket from operating expense. Now so this operates from your Fidelity current account that you're spending this money from, since this is your operating, expense. So you spend it, when you spend, you log it here, you upload the receipt if you want to, and then click on deduct. So it to deduct it automatically. You can see how it's automatically calculating everything. So you don't have to do spreadsheet, or you just have to, you just maybe in the evening or in the afternoon, you just have time, you just open the app. That's why I say save it on your home screen so that you can just click on it one touch and then come here to just log your expense. Now, You see food, you've saved all this. Now you can see the distribution here, how much you spent from your owners. Like you spent 10,000, you spend this, so you can see the distribution here. Now, if you come to history here, you can also see, the incomes that you've gotten. You can see the, that label you put there. There's something I also want to show you before we go forward. Now, if you click on home here, let's say, for example, somebody just gifted you money, like Dash, or maybe a friend of yours just send you money, and that money is not for business, whatever, and it's just your personal money or stuff like that. If you want to put an individual income, in terms of you want to log an individual income instead of splitting it, now you can come to this home page here and just click on deposit. Now, once you click on deposit, you put the amount here. Let's say you go, let's say 12,000 from your friend or whatever they gave you the money. So if it's for $12,000, if it's you can select the currency. If it's naira, you can also select it. So let's just for simplicity just put 12,000 naira here. Then you write it. Let's say you got a gift from a friend. I just want to use it this way, and then you click on deposit. So you see to add it just to your current balance. In this case now, the person sent the transfer to your Zenith Bank. So you just come here and just log it so that your balance, like everything will be okay with your main bank account. So you do all these things here. I'm just showing you that method now. Now let's say for example, in reality, all these things are kind of fixed. Maybe you've dipped into your operating expense, or your operating expense is going low, and let's say you want to, from your growth fund, you want to just cut out some money and send to your uh, bank account that holds your operating expenses. You can now reallocate fund. You can just click on this reallocate fund. You can select the source. So the source is from the growth, and now you want to reallocate it because you did a transfer from your Fidelity, for example, Fidelity savings to your Fidelity current account, which is holding your operating expense money. So you just come here and just do the allocation here. So you send, like, let's say 10,000 naira, and then you write the reason. Let's say need more money. Okay. So once you do that, then you click on execute. So it will, you see, this one was 80 something before. Now it will add it to this space. So once you come to history here, now you can see the balance sheet, in terms of the allocation, as I mean the gift from a friend and all these things. So next thing now, when you click on more now, let's say for example you want to see a more detailed, ledger. You come to audit here. Now you can see how much has gone through your account so far. Net balance, you can see everything here. Inflows, outflows, you can see it here. Now you can also see this here. This is the what's that? The reallocation you did from growth fund to this, and so you to log it here. Now, if you want to see credits, you can click on. If you want to see debit, you can click here. If you want to see adjustment, I'll show you what adjustment is now. So let's say, for example, now let's say you're using the application, but maybe after some few days you forgot to log in to log your expenses and stuff like that, and or you want to match. Let's say, for example, you go to the homepage now. Let's say in your OP, your Zenith Bank, we hold your was that which was your owner salary. The money in there has gone down to, let's say, 30K, but you forgot to log it in terms of your expenses so that it will deduct it from here. What you can do is to go to more, then click on ledger. Now you can now click on match bank balance. So it asks you to select the bank. So in this case now your owner salary. So the current balance in the before send is showing 49, but in your bank, your OP, it is showing 30,000 because you've done some expenses. This is what manual adjustment is. So you just come here, you just put your reward, what is the balance there. So you can see to add it as a debit because, here, this one is bigger than this. So you've already spent and you forgot to log it. So in that case, now you spent already 19,359 point, 80, whatever. You spent that amount, but you forgot to log it. So now, once you add your real balance, that is your Zenith Bank, what you're seeing, the system will add it as an adjustment in terms of a debit. Now, let's say, for example, let's say your real balance, maybe you got some money, friends and family, they gave you money, and let's say your balance now is like 75,000 naira. So you to add it like a credit. You see, that is how beautiful this system is. So you don't have to, think about the calculations and everything. The system is going to do all this. And you can see the notes here, bank reconciliation, stuff like that. So let me see, I'll just put 30K and then I click on apply. So if you do it, it will automatically calculate your balance and everything. So you can see manual readjustments here. So if you go back here, you're going to see 30K now. This is how beautiful the system is. Now, if you come here, you want to set reminders. Let's say, for example, you have subscriptions. Let's say I have YouTube. Then you set the date that the YouTube is expiring. In this case, let's say it's going to expire 27th. How much? Let's see, I think 2,800. And then does it recur every month, like every year? You just select it here. Now, if you want to cancel it, like if you want to add an instruction that, oh, you need to cancel this particular subscription, you can just add the note here. It's very simple. Let's say I want to cancel. Now, once you do this, then click on create reminder. Now, the system is going to create a reminder here. So on this date, the system is going to remind you. That is why I say you need to save it, the app, by clicking on that push notification enable. You need to save it on your phone so that it will remember you that you need to cancel this on that day. But if you're just going through this, like in terms of you visit the site and you use the application from the site itself, and you didn't turn on push notifications, you're not going to know this, I think, unless you check your email. Now, if it's a one-off payment, just like you did for the active subscription, you add it there. That is just how to do it. Now, also, if you want to set, let's say, milestone, let's say you're saving towards buying a new laptop, you can say new Mac, whatever you want to call it. Now, how much is the stuff? Let's say 1.2 million. Now, where do you want to save? Like, from which bucket do you want to, fund this milestone from? That is what it is here. They click on here. So you want to fund it from your growth fund for this case now. They click on create savings milestone. So now it's going to create. So as you progress, it's going to, as you're adding money, it's going to show you, how much you're getting towards your goal. That is what this one is all about here. So you see how beautiful the system is. You can also check out all our features. If you want to edit your information, you can come here, change your name, your phone number. You can do this here. And then if you want to also change the currency, you can also, if you change the currency, let's say you're using dollar, then when you come back to home here, so you can also change the currency here if you want to change the currency. So the system is also going to recalculate everything about your account. So this is just how to use the system itself. So I hope you find value in the system and you use it every single day. Thank you for watching.